What if I told you that the difference between making $50,000 a year and $50 billion isn't talent, luck, or even connections? Jack Ma failed his college entrance exam twice, was rejected from Harvard 10 times, and couldn't even get hired at KFC. Yet he built Alibaba into a $500 billion empire. Today, we're diving deep into the psychological blueprint that separates billionaires from everyone else. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to rewire your brain to think like them. But first, if you're ready to transform your mindset and unlock your potential, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. Section 1. The Failure Paradox. Here's what most people don't understand about billionaire thinking. They have a completely different relationship with failure. While you and I might see failure as proof we're not good enough, billionaires see it as data. Jack Ma puts it perfectly. If you don't give up, you still have a chance. Giving up is the greatest failure. But here's the deeper truth. Billionaires don't just accept failure, they seek it out. Why? Because they understand something called the failure velocity principle. Drop failure velocity in the comments. If you've never heard this term before, most people try to avoid failure at all costs. They take the safe job, make the safe investments, start the safe business. But billionaires understand that the faster you fail, the faster you learn, and the faster you learn, the faster you succeed. Think about it. Jeff Bezos had 20 failed ideas before Amazon. Elon Musk's first company, Zip2, nearly went bankrupt 3 times. But each failure taught them something their competitors didn't know. The billionaire mindset shift. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the raw material of success. Section 2. The abundance algorithm. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Most people operate from what psychologists call a scarcity mindset. They believe there's a limited pie, and if someone else gets a bigger slice, there's less for them. But Jack Ma and other billionaires operate from what I call the abundance algorithm. They don't compete for existing value, they create new value. When Jack Ma started Alibaba, he wasn't trying to steal customers from existing retailers. He created an entirely new marketplace that didn't exist before. He made the pie bigger. Type abundance if you've been thinking with scarcity instead of abundance. Here's the practical application. Instead of asking, how can I get what they have? Billionaires ask, how can I create something that doesn't exist yet? This mental shift changes everything. Instead of competing on price, you innovate on value. Instead of fighting for market share, you create new markets. Instead of copying successful models, you invent new paradigms. The billionaire thought pattern: what problem exists that nobody is solving? What opportunity exists that nobody sees? Section 3, the 10x rule. Here's something that will blow your mind. Billionaires don't think about improvement, they think about transformation. While most people ask, how can I get 10% better? Billionaires ask, how can I get 10 times better? This isn't just about setting bigger goals, it's about accessing a completely different part of your brain. When you think 10% better, you optimize what already exists. When you think 10 times better, you have to invent new solutions. Jack Ma didn't try to make traditional retail 10% better. He made it 10 times better by moving it online and connecting millions of buyers and sellers who could never have found each other before. Comment 10x if you're ready to stop thinking incrementally. Here's the neuroscience behind it. When you set impossible goals, your brain switches from analytical thinking to creative thinking. It starts looking for breakthrough solutions instead of incremental improvements. The practical exercise: take your biggest goal right now, multiply it by 10. Now ask yourself, what would have to be true for this to be possible? What would you need to learn? What would you need to create? What would you need to become? That discomfort you're feeling right now? That's your brain switching modes. That's the feeling of accessing billionaire-level thinking. Section 4, the systems obsession. Here's what separates millionaires from billionaires. Billionaires are obsessed with systems. Jack Ma doesn't think about selling products. He thinks about building platforms that enable millions of other people to sell products. He doesn't work in his business, he works on systems that run without him. Most entrepreneurs trade time for money. Billionaires build systems that trade value for money, even when they're sleeping. Type systems if you've been trading time for money instead of building systems. The billionaire framework: create once, benefit infinitely. Build something that works without your constant input. Enable others to create value. The biggest businesses help other people succeed. Compound exponentially. Small improvements in systems create massive results over time. Real example: when Alibaba created Alipay, they weren't just solving payment problems for their own platform. They created a system that millions of other businesses could use, which created a massive network effect. The key question billionaires ask: how can I build a system that becomes more valuable the more people use it? Section 5. The long-term equation. Here's perhaps the biggest difference. Billionaires think in decades while most people think in months. Jack Ma famously said he plans for 30 years, but executes for today. This isn't just about patience. It's about understanding the compound advantage principle. Most people want immediate results. They start a business and expect profits in 6 months. They invest money and want returns in a year. But billionaires understand that real wealth comes from compound growth over extended periods. Comment compound if you've been focused on quick wins instead of long-term growth. Amazon didn't turn a profit for 7 years. Bezos was thinking about building the everything store, not maximizing quarterly earnings. That long-term thinking is why Amazon became a trillion-dollar company. The practical shift: start measuring your success in years and decades, not weeks and months. Ask yourself, what would I do if I knew it would take 10 years to pay off? What investments in myself would compound over the next decade? What relationships and systems should I build now that will benefit me in 2035? Section 6. The network effect mindset. Billionaires understand something most people miss. Your network determines your net worth, but not in the way you think. It's not about knowing rich people. It's about creating value for networks of people. Jack Ma didn't become wealthy by networking with billionaires. He became wealthy by creating a platform that made millions of small business owners successful. Those millions of people became his network, and their success became his success. Drop network if you've been thinking about networking all wrong. The billionaire approach to networking: give first, receive later. Add value before asking for value. Enable others' success. Your wealth grows when you help others win. Think ecosystems, not transactions. Build relationships that create ongoing mutual benefit. This is why social media influencers with millions of followers often struggle to monetize. They build an audience, not a network. A network creates value for each other. An audience just consumes content. Section 7. The risk recalibration. Here's the final piece that changes everything. Billionaires don't take bigger risks. They take smarter risks. Most people think entrepreneurs are huge risk takers, but research shows that successful billionaires are actually more risk-averse than the average person. They just calculate risk differently. Jack Ma didn't quit his teaching job to start Alibaba until he had validated the concept and secured initial funding. The risk wasn't starting the business. The risk was not starting it when he saw the internet revolution coming. Comment calculated if you're ready to stop taking emotional risks and start taking strategic ones. The billionaire risk framework. Asymmetric bets. Small downside, massive upside potential, reversible decisions. Can you undo this if it doesn't work? Information advantage. Do you know something others don't? Timing advantage. Are you early to a massive trend? The question isn't, what could go wrong? The question is, what's the cost of not taking this risk? So there you have it, the 5 core thinking patterns that separate billionaires from everyone else. They see failure as data, not defeat. They create abundance instead of competing for scarcity. They think 10x transformation, not 10% improvement. They build systems that work without them. They take calculated risks based on long-term compound growth. But here's the truth. Knowing this information changes nothing. Applying it changes everything. Your transformation starts right now. Pick one of these mindset shifts and commit to practicing it for the next 30 days. Whether it's reframing your next failure as valuable data or asking, how can I 10x this? Instead of, how can I improve this slightly? If this video shifted your perspective, smash that like button. It helps us reach more people who need to hear this message. Subscribe to Meets Wisdom for more deep dives into the psychology of success, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest insights. And here's your homework. In the comments below, tell me which billionaire thinking pattern you're going to implement first. Are you going to embrace the failure velocity principle? Start thinking in systems? Or begin taking asymmetric bets? Your future self is counting on the decisions you make today. The question is, are you going to think like everyone else? Or are you ready to think like a billionaire? I'll see you in the next video, where we're diving into the daily habits that billionaires use to maintain their edge. Until then, keep growing, keep learning, and remember, your mindset is your destiny.